Hey folks, how you all doing? So today is show off the vinyl records that I have purchased recently. Some of them are mine, some of them are birthday gifts that I purchased for Lynne, with her birthday being the 1st of May. So there's actually 9 LPs to look at, plus also a 10 LP box set. So we'll get on with it. I'll sort of explain them as we go through, whether they're mine, whether they're Lynne's, whatever. Just a bit of explanation here and there. So we'll lead off with this one, One Night Alone. This is an acoustic album by Prince, featuring Prince's vocals and piano. It was released originally in 2002. He did do a One Night Alone world tour, which was at smaller venues with just him and the piano, to promote this album. For whatever reason, Lynne didn't go and see him at that particular time. I don't know what was going on in her life at that time, but she didn't see it. And for some reason, I didn't go and see it neither, which is really weird, because even though I don't own many of Prince's albums, I was always a Prince fan, so to speak, so I would have seen him do an intimate show. So here's the inner sleeve, and this one is on the classic purple vinyl. It's almost marbled, as you can see on a lot of the Prince ones. I'll get the as you can see there, you got that marble look, swirl marble. A lot of Prince's albums are on this, what I call purple Prince. So yeah, that's the one. Really looking forward to listening to this. I'm looking forward to listening to all of them. I haven't heard any of them yet that I've purchased for either myself or for Lynne. So that's the first one. Prince did actually release 40 studio albums during his career, which a lot of people, including myself, were not aware of the amount of albums he had actually released. I think 2 of them were released posthumously, obviously after his death, but the rest were released during his lifetime. So yeah, interesting to note. I also picked this one up for Lynne for her birthday. It's the Brian May remastered, remixed original Queen album. It's now been retitled Queen 1 as opposed to Queen. It's on 180 gram black vinyl. There's an extra track on this over the original Queen debut album, and that is called Mad the Swine. That is on side 1 between the tracks Great King Rat and My Fairy King. I've listened to that song on Spotify. It's really not that good, but I haven't listened to it in context of the full album yet, so it may work very well in the scheme of the album. There you go. Lynne being a very big Queen fan, I decided to get this for her. We were sort of looking at it last year when it came out, ummed about it, and I eventually bit the bullet and purchased it for her. So it'd be nice to hear the sound with the remix, and obviously with that song included, that I believe the record company didn't want to be released on the original album, but it could have fitted in because the album's only 37 minutes long, so they could have had that extra song on the vinyl, no problem. So not sure why. We got this one as well. Lynne has this, well, I think it's a 6 CD Blu-ray, something like that, box set of Sign of the Times. So I got this one for Lynne. It's a double vinyl for her birthday. So there's 2 LPs in here. Put that inner sleeve there. Is that the lyrics to the songs? Yeah, it says lyrics to the songs can hardly read them when you. It's crazy stuff. That's the inner sleeve. This one's on a picture disc. So that's the first disc. This one here, you got the lyrics on this one again. This is a gorgeous picture of Prince there. This picture disc is different to the other one, which is why I'm showing it to you. This one's on like a peach colour, I guess, peachy. And the vinyl behind it is actually brown. Yeah, you can see that on the video. It's very hard to see in real life. You've got the black outer rim, then you've got the brown plain surface. Yeah, it's a very good album. It's one of my favourite Prince albums. In fact, it might have been the first Prince album I actually purchased. I do actually have that on vinyl, obviously. So I think that was the first studio album Prince's that I purchased. Also picked up this one for Lynne for her birthday. I guess this is Prince's Flash Gordon album. A lot of Prince fans don't like this album. It's the soundtrack to the 1989 movie Batman, I guess. I think it was 1989. It's got the hit Bat Dance on it. It's an album she never bothered getting. Like most Queen fans, never bothered with Flash Gordon. But if she's gonna complete the collection, she has to have it at some point. So I thought I would grab that one for her. There you go, just on black vinyl, that one. See all these grubby bits of dirt and stuff and fluff, you can see it there, little white bits. That shouldn't happen. If these are pressed in a sterile environment, sealed, like factory sealed, and not opened and touched by human hands until I get it or any purchaser gets it, there shouldn't be any dust on these, but it seems to be a more frequent occurrence with modern albums I've found, especially over the last, since the COVID times, I guess. This album's this one's another one I bought for Lynne. It's from 1980 and it's Prince's third album. This one's called Dirty Mind. Right, that's the front doorbell. Switch that off. I usually try and put that off if I can. I'll just put that on silent. There you go. This one's in black vinyl as well. As I said, this is another one. So I've just opened this again for Lynne, and look, little bits of white dust on them. That shouldn't happen, really, in a perfect world, but you know, either there's issues with the sterile environment, or what, I just don't know what it is. Also picked this one up for Lynne for her birthday. It's the 7th studio album by Lady Gaga. This was released earlier this year, Mayhem. Lynne's being a completist, collecting Lady Gaga studio albums on vinyl, so I thought I would get her this one. It's on double vinyl. It's actually 3 sides. This one's on an indie exclusive lemon yellow colour, I guess. I'm not sure if that really shows up. It doesn't show up when I'm showing it now, but it probably will on the video. But yeah, I did listen to this album on Spotify when it first came out. I was actually, I wouldn't say impressed, but it was a good album. Another good album by Lady Gaga. That's the other one. She's just turning so weird, that girl. I think she was always weird anyway, but on her own wavelength, so to speak. So that's on the indie record. There you are, there's the other side, that's the etched. Can you even see that? I'll just get my light on that. So it plays on 3 sides and it's etched on the 4th side, so no, it doesn't really show that. Hopefully it shows up when the video comes out. But yeah, really like Lady Gaga. I think she's a fabulous artist. She's got a fantastic voice. My favourite albums of her are Joanne, which is basically a piano acoustic album for the most part, and the 2 albums that she did with Tony Bennett. Plus I really like Harlequin from last year. And inside also you have this giant 3-foot poster. Might not show, it might be too big. A giant poster there, and this side you got all the lyrics. I remember when I was a teenager and used to get posters in albums that were like 3 foot, like a metre nearly, or a yard, and they all used to go up on the wall with blue tack. So yeah, there's that one. Beautiful album cover. I think that's great. It's just so freaky and out there, like you would expect from Lady Gaga. Next up is this album here. I'm a huge fan of My Morning Jacket, but I've only ever purchased their albums on CD. I have them all on compact disc, including Jim James, the lead singer, with his solo albums. But I decided this year that I'm going to be pursuing the My Morning Jacket / Jim James catalogue on vinyl. So I picked up this one, Circuit All. This is from about 2020-ish from memory. They released an album 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this is the 2 albums back from the most recent one. So it's a double vinyl with an extra vinyl of demos and outtakes. So it's 3 LPs. This is bloody heavy because they're all 180 gram vinyl. This opens up into a trifold. I think it's just, I don't know what colour vinyl this is. It's like a translucent blue. There's a little bit of a marble effect in there as well. But it's a random selection with this album. There was 3 colours. I think there was a red, a blue, and it could be a green, I think, from memory. And it was random. You didn't know which ones you were going to get when you purchase them. It was totally random. So you are. So yeah, My Morning Jacket. If you've never heard of My Morning Jacket, they're an alt rock band. Their earlier material has a lot of lengthy guitar solos in it, sort of a bit like Neil Young, Crazy Horse, with a lot of their lengthy stuff with guitar solos, very similar. Jim James's voice is very dreamy. It's often not in the foreground, but at the same level as the music, so it doesn't stand out into the fore. Their 2 or 3 most recent albums, their recent 2 plus this one I'm talking about, Jim's voice is in the foreground a bit more, and their albums are slightly more catchy, like commercially driven, than their earlier albums, but still a very good band. I don't think they ever released a bad album. I like all their albums. Some of Jim's solo stuff is a bit patchy. But yeah, good band, good, well worth a listen if you've never heard them. I would say Evil Urges and Z or Z, and probably their two most recent albums Is, and what shall we say? We'll say Circuital as well. Two very good albums there. Recent albums that are really good. And this is the album after Circuital, self-titled My Morning Jacket. It's a great album cover on there. Great album cover. Sort of album you'd expect from a prog rock band. Yeah, so this is a double LP as well. I mean, it looks almost psychedelic as well as prog, but they're certainly not a psychedelic rock band by any means. This is double vinyl, some clear vinyl. Sorry, I didn't show you the sleeve. So this side's got the lyrics on. It's just a picture there. I actually like clear vinyl. I reckon it looks really cool. So yeah, this, I don't know if I have a favourite My Morning Jacket album, to be honest with you. There's a poster there. I'll show you that one in a second. Poster, there you go. I found with these My Morning Jacket albums that the outer cover of their albums is very thick cardboard. It's very well put together. It's usually in a nice matte finish as opposed to gloss. Seems very good quality. The inner sleeves as well seem very good as well, so they're very well packaged. Yeah, can't complain about this at all. Next up we have this other album, The Waterfall 2. This was from 2019-ish maybe, something like that. There's a Waterfall album and The Waterfall 2. This is the one I happened to find and get. Again, very, very thick cardboard. Semi-matte finish. Nice paper inner sleeve on this one. And again, this one. It's like this. It does say here, see it's got an E on there. And on this side there's an F. I can only assume that The Waterfall is a double album. I could be wrong. It's a double album, so it's A, B, C and D, and this is sides E and F, because you're supposed to listen to them as one whole piece, so I'm assuming that's what it is, but as yet I haven't got The Waterfall. So that's that, and now we have this box set which I purchased for Lynne for her birthday. This has been out probably around 10 years now, 2014. But I found this on the internet, brand new, sealed. Most places had this one, before I tell you who it is, for well over $1,000 Australian. So you're looking at 500 US dollars, approximately the same in British pounds as well. So it was about between 1,000 1,200 Australian dollars, and I managed to pick one up, new, sealed, from a pawnbrokers in the other side of Australia. So someone had obviously pawned it because they wanted cash and never come back, and these guys, I guess, wanted to just recoup their money, and it was $700, and I offered them exactly 400 just as a joke, and they ended up taking it. And it is the entire 10 limited edition 10 LP box set featuring all of inxs's albums with Michael Hutchence. They did release 2 albums after this. There's nothing on the spine there, nothing on the bottom nor on the top, but it's the 10 studio albums. Lynne is an inxs fan. She never got the first 2 albums, inxs Underneath the Colours. Like me, I didn't even know there were 2 albums. I thought Shabu Shabar was their first album. I have the Swing. I don't like the Swing. Listen Like Thieves is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. I have Kick. I don't like Kick. They're the only albums I know of inxs. Lynne has a few of those right in the middle there. Shabu Shabar probably up to X, I believe. So we've got all of their albums here. I'm not going to take them out. The sleeves, the ones I have on vinyl, are exactly the same as what's in here. So they've been reproduced pretty good. So we have the debut album there. And have Underneath the Colours, their second album. I actually like that cover art for some reason. I don't know why. I just do. Look, they're just lyrics in there. It's all on black vinyl. I'm not going to go into it, but there. This is the album I first remember of inxs's. I actually like that album cover as well. I like the difference between dark and light, the contrasts. We have the Swing album there. This actually is exactly the same, the inner sleeve there, as the original album that I do have. The label is the same as well. This one here, Listen Like Thieves, this is the only album of theirs that I do like. I am going to listen to the rest of these albums, and I'm going to rank them at some point, because you never know. Once you start listening to albums in chronological order, you get a better appreciation of artists sometimes, especially if they do develop. But yeah, this is exactly the same as the album I have with the gatefold. Even the inner sleeve there is exactly the same as the album I've got, so they have reproduced them fairly well. The Kick. I think this was probably their most commercially successful album worldwide, this one, especially when you had the hits, Guns in the Sky, New Sensation, Devil Inside, Need You Tonight, Mediate, The Loved One, Never Tear Us Apart, Mystify. I mean, what's that, seven singles off there that I was aware of? I mean, they were just huge. They literally were. X. I only know Suicide Blonde, Disappear, Bitter Tears. That's all I know from that album. They were okay singles, but as I said, I was never a fan. I did see inxs live back in the early 1980s. They were support act, I think, for Rod Stewart, when Rod Stewart toured Australia. So I'm thinking the Tonight I'm Yours tour, which was 1981-ish, so that would have been the Shaboo Shabaa thing. inxs were terrible. They were terrible live. Mike Hutchins was falling around the stage. He was drinking bottles of whatever he was drinking, alcohol at the time. Absolutely pissed off his face. Terrible, terrible. So I never really was a fan, because that really put me off. Welcome to Wherever You Are. I think I know. The title Beautiful Girl rings a bell, but I could be totally wrong. I really don't recall the titles there at all. Like the Gatefold. That is a terrible album cover. That really is a terrible album cover. Then we have Full Moon Dirty Hearts. Nothing really stands out here. I really can't remember any song off this album. Maybe I will when I hear the album again. Inner sleeve, pictures, lyrics on that side. And finally their 10th and final album, Elegantly Wasted. There you go. The only problem with this, I wish there was a booklet in here of some kind to give some sort of history on the band, a bit of a bio on the band, etc. But it's a well put together case. It's very, that's a download card in the bottom there as well. But it's very decent, thick cardboard, I would say. For the black inner bit there, you're looking at 1mm thick. For the cardboard, you're looking at 2mm thick for the red. So you've got all up, you've got 3mm of solid card. Look, it's very, very well put together as well. So anyway, that is the albums I've purchased recently, either for myself or for Lynne's birthday. Lynne had a big win on her birthday this year, obviously. She had a lot of records to complete collections, or keep up with collections anyway, and I've got the 3 My Morning Jackets albums that I want to start collecting on vinyl as well. So anyway guys, sorry if I've bored you for the last 28, almost 29 minutes, but I like to go through and show the inner sleeves of records, what the vinyl looks like, and that way you have an idea if ever you want to go and buy it, what's involved with them, what the inner things are, like posters and whatever. Oh, sorry, a bit of indigestion there. Anyway guys, as usual, thanks for watching. Leave your comments in the comments section below. Mention anything you like about these albums, these bands. We can have a discussion about it or not, whatever you want. Give me the thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'd like to get to that 300 subscriptions before my birthday. I've only got 5 to go, I believe. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye folks.